Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Gourmet Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into the PTA live stream, I guess you could say. Listen, this is going to be very casual. You're going to hear me crunching on chips, drinking soda, and watching the Vikings Steelers game here. I just thought, you know what, got a little extra time. Why don't we go live and just sit here, hang out with the chat, and talk a little ball, man? I'd be surprised if 3 people show up. We've already got the chat filling up, but thank y'all for hanging out with us. Obviously, I'll be flying solo, so there's going to be a little bit of dead time, a little bit of dead air. Just know that in advance. And again, nothing too formal here, just kind of hanging out, watching the Steelers and the Vikings game. So if you're just tuning in, I'm going to try to get a banner up here. I should have been a little better prepared for this, but I'm going to put a banner up with the score here real quick. The Steelers are leading 14-6. I'll give you a little bit of play-by-play as well. Obviously, nothing. You guys don't expect anything professional in here, so it's all good. But we'll just kind of keep you guys up to date on what's going on there. Let me just get this set up, and hopefully everybody's doing well in the chat. Appreciate y'all making us part of your morning here. Obviously, it's Packers game day. We're really excited about the game tonight as the Packers and the Cowboys are going to be facing off. And had several Cowboy friends reaching out to me earlier today. I tweeted some of that stuff out. You've probably seen it on Twitter if you follow me over there at Packers_access. And man, they are just they're rooting against the Cowboys a little bit, is what it sounds like. I mean, they don't want their team to lose, I guess, but it's just they want to be proven right with Jerry Jones, obviously trading away arguably the best player on their roster in Micah Parsons. So it's going to be really interesting to see how everything unfolds this evening. Again, I don't think it's a slam dunk win for the Packers. You guys know how I fan. I think that the Cowboys could get hot, and who knows what could happen there. So we'll be live for a pregame show and a postgame show for that as well. So you guys make sure you look for that stream later on today. 2nd and 11, Aaron Rodgers got them in that. Looks like a 12 ace look here at their own 25-yard line. They're going to run the rock. Nice little run there by the Steelers. Looks like they picked up about 7 or 8 on a 2nd and 11 there. So it's going to be 3rd and manageable here. 12-17 left in the third quarter. Steelers lead 14-6. All right. So let's do this. When we get done with the first drive here, what we'll do is go around the league and give you guys a preview. We'll show you what's happened in this game, first of all, in the first 2 quarters. And then we'll go around the rest of the league and give everybody an idea of what's on tap today as we get into the 1 o'clock window here a little bit later in the day. Just a couple hours away from that. That's awesome. So, all right, we got a Trey left look, it looks like here. Actually, a Trips left look. They've got DK in the 3 out of the gun. Rodgers back to pass on a 3rd and 4. Going to dump it to the running back. Good defense by the Vikings. They're probably going to force a punt there. So, again, the middle 8 is coming to a close. No one scored there in the first 4 minutes of the second half. And obviously the way Pittsburgh's approaching this second half, I would imagine, is they're looking to protect the football, man. They're looking to protect the ball, kind of like the situation the Packers were in with the Browns last week, right? Obviously, the clock, at some point, the clock becomes your opponent. You're not quite there yet for the Steelers, but they're going to try to see if Minnesota can put a scoring drive together. And if they can't, then they'll just lean on their defense, probably play a little ball security, that type of thing. So, again, it can bite you in the rear end, right? It can bite you in the rear end a little later in the game if you're not aggressive enough. But I also understand that mindset. Let's go to Soder in the chat. Says very interested in the Browns and the Lions. Me too, man. I was looking at that first game on tap in the 1 o'clock window. Guys, as NFC North fans, I guess you could say, Packer fans first and foremost, but we're going to be following the North. This is really interesting because you obviously got the Lions and the Browns kicking off. A little bit different scenario. I know some people would try to use this as a measuring stick, or how good are the Packers, how good are the Lions, because, obviously the Packers dropped a heartbreaker to the Browns on the road last week. Now the Lions get a chance to boat race them. The Lions are at home. That's a big difference, right? And, of course, we beat the Lions in week 1. It's just any given Sunday, anything can happen, man. There's no doubt about it. So 1 o'clock window is going to be exciting there. Browns at the Lions. That's a game I'll be tuned in for that. Who knows? We might just randomly go live for that too, if you guys want to hang out and watch a little ball together and just kind of talk in here. So Biz, 1987. Cowboys fans are weird. Biz, I've got several friends that are Cowboys fans. Maybe I'm just fortunate to be friends with the sane ones. They've been talking about this for a long time and how they've struggled, right? And I got to be careful keeping that on the screen too long, but we're going to try to give you guys updates as we go along. We'll talk about the Bears game here in a second. But again, the big thing there, in my opinion, is Cowboys fans were kind of spoiled in the 90s. And most of these Cowboys fans, that's when they fell in love with the Cowboys, and rightfully so. Man, it was a hell of a dynasty in the 90s. And then over the years, you've seen, Jerry runs Jimmy Johnson out of town, and then he has to kind of scrape together and get that second, or that next Super Bowl win, I should say, there with Barry Switzer at coach. And then, of course, when Barry steps down, they've had these little glimpses of hope, right? They went out and they hired Bill Parcells. I remember when that happened. I thought, man, that's a hell of a move. I don't know how many years he was there, but it was shortly after they hired him. He and Jerry Jones started clash, and obviously Bill Parcells steps down, and he had them in the playoffs, if I remember correctly. So it's just been kind of up and down ever since then. So the Cowboys fans that I'm friends with, man, they're pretty straightforward guys, right? And I've got a little cousin that's a Cowboys fan as well. As soon as we traded for Micah, she texted me a bunch of crying emojis and said, "Y'all got a great one. Congratulations." She was just distraught over it, right? So shout out to her. Hate to see that for a family member, but man, glad the Packers picked up Micah Parsons, no doubt about it. So let's see what else we got going on in the chat. 2-0 for this. They welcome the Steelers to Ireland in the most Irish way possible, but robbing the backup quarterback. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard that story, that's getting wild. As I think it was Tom Pelissero that tweeted out that the Steelers backup quarterback got robbed last night in Ireland. So really, really interesting. And anybody who's been to Ireland, I've got friends in Ireland too. I got a good friend named Wayne who's over there. Really good dude. Probably shouldn't even say anything because somehow this will get spun into me talking politics, but things have changed. He's in Scotland. He's got family in Ireland and other family in the UK as well. And it's interesting what's going on over there. Let's don't get into that. Let's just talk football. All right, let's talk football. Brambo, Pats fans are the next Cowboys fans. You're probably right, Brambo. They're coming to the realization that, holy cow, this is what it's like to not have a dynastic run, right? They've been kind of spoiled here recently. Although I got to admit, man, that was a fun dynasty to watch for me. I got to experience the whole thing being an NFL fan through that whole Patriots dynasty. And I don't know, man, I was very enamored with it. And I wasn't like, go Patriots, rooting on the Patriots. It's something you're probably not going to see in the NFL again. The Chiefs are close to doing it, I believe, or they're kind of closing in on it. And you're seeing it's already falling apart. The fact that the Patriots were able to pull that off for so long was really, really interesting. I think it's something that should be studied. Like there's a reason they had success. And I know most fans will just say they cheated. That's all it was. I respectfully disagree. There was several things that they got accused of and even improving that they did that other teams were doing as well. It's just they seem to cheat a little bit better than everybody else who was trying to cheat, right? So, yeah. So it's cool to see a franchise kind of emerge like that, though, in my opinion. Let's see what else we got here in the chat. Nothing really going on other than the robbery, looks like. Brambo says, I rooted for the Pats in every Super Bowl. I think I rooted against them early. And then once they kind of earned my respect that they'd done so well, I found myself kind of rooting for them, to break history, I guess you could say. Here we go. Vikings ball 3rd and 3 at their own roughly 18-yard line. 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Wentz back to pass, looks, fires. That's a first down to, looks like it was, who was it called? Adam Thielen, 112 years old, still out there making plays for the Vikings. So Vikings move the sticks here in the third quarter. Pittsburgh still leads 14-6. Let's take a look at the box score there real quick, gang. Let's see how everybody's looking. Carson Wentz, obviously playing quarterback for the Vikings. A little bit of a rough day. 18-23, 155 yards passing, 1 interception, been sacked 3 times and lost 25 yards. Aaron Rodgers has been as efficient as he's been in a while here. 13-15, 166 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. He's been sacked twice for 18 yards lost. I know very first play of the game, he drops back to pass. Guy comes up the A-gap, completely unblocked. They were trying to set up a TT, and the guy that was supposed to go first and crack the guard was just like, okay, nobody's going to block me. I'm going to go ahead and sack Aaron. That's exactly what happened there. So off to a rough start, but again, the Steelers are leading 14-6. Looks like the Vikings are getting in a pretty close range here for a first down. Let's go back to the play-by-play. 9 minutes left in the third quarter, 2nd and 1. Jordan Mason's got 12 carries for 47 yards on the day. They're in a nasty ace 13 set play action. They're going to dump it to the running back, and he's going to pick up the first down as he's knocked out of bounds with 8:56 left in the third quarter. So the Vikings are starting to drive here a little bit, man. Maybe they can make it maybe they can make this a one-score game here shortly. We'll see. Which I guess it's technically a one-score game now with the 2-point conversion, right? So yeah. So back to the stats here. Let's just go back to the box score real quick. We were talking about Aaron, 13 of 15, 166 yards and a touchdown. So I feel like he's kind of outplayed Carson Wentz up to this point. That interception was huge earlier today. All right, here we are back in it. Looks like they're showing a lot of 13 set, man. This is interesting. KOC with a 13 personnel. They're going to run an outside zone run, and it is stopped for a gain of about 2 yards. So we're looking at 2nd and 8, maybe 2nd and 7 here for the Vikings as they're trying to put together a scoring drive. Another player here, we talked about Jordan Mason, 12 carries for 46 yards before that last carry. So having a decent day. He's a pretty good running back, man. Obviously, Aaron Jones, I think he's back on the IR, I believe. Shout out to Goody. I wanted Aaron Jones to stay a Packer, but let's be real, guys. I mean, Aaron Jones is not the same player. And Josh Jacobs is obviously, I think, a better running back up to this point, although he started off kind of weak early in the season as well. So Goody made the right decision there. You just love to have seen both of them together for sure. Oh, man, there's a rare drop. Actually, that's Addison. I thought that might have been Justin Jefferson. So on a 2nd and 8 pass, Carson Wentz tries to hit. I think that was Jordan Addison. Goes right between his hands. So obviously we're looking at about a 3rd and 7 here for the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, great point, Coach. Coach Lamb points out, Jai Alexander is not the same player either, man. They're tough decisions, right? And typically us fans disagree with those decisions that he's making, but boy, he's been right way more often than he's been wrong. That's for sure. All right, here we go. They're in an empty set. Looks like 11 personnel. That's going to trigger the nickel defense for the Steelers. They're bringing a little coffee house blitz. Wentz has got room on the outside. He's going to scramble left for the first down. So one of those rare situations where it's one thing I don't like about, we're going to start calling the double barrel coffee house because that's what Halfley calls it, but it's a double A-gap mug essentially. I don't understand defenses that run it and they don't play contain. Like, you've got to be able to contain. Like right there, they ran it looked like a TE stunt, and they looped TJ Watt around. If I'm looking at it correctly, I believe that was Watt's side. And he had just nothing but open space to run in there for Carson Wentz. You can't just give them a quick answer like that to the equation, right? You can't do that. 1st and 10 now for the Vikings. They are driving there now at the Steelers' roughly 46-yard line, it looks like. Oh, man, somebody comes untouched and gets somersaulted over top of Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz fumbles, so I guess it's technically a strip sack, but it looks like the Vikings do get the ball back. Somehow they gain a couple of yards here, though. That was a wild play. So someone comes free. Wentz tries to duck. It does the old WWE back body drop on him, and the ball comes flying out of there. Let's see if it's actually a fumble or if he's ruled down. 2 people got upended on that play. Yeah, that was definitely a strip sack by number 25. Looks like they might have fired the nickel or the safety there. Wentz is holding his ribs too, so he might be a little banged up here. He's wincing. No pun intended. Wentz is wincing. Again, the Vikings did get the ball back, though. 2nd and 11 now. Under center, a little fake toss play. TJ Watt comes untouched, and he evades him, but number 95, whoever that is that Hayward? It might be Hayward. Let's see. Nope, that's Benton. Benton with the sack. So we're looking at 3rd and long now for the Vikings as the Steelers are leading 14-6 here in the third quarter. It's fun to watch the Steelers defense. They've struggled this year, but it is fun to see all the exotics. It reminds me of my childhood, all the fire zone blitzes and everything. Growing up being a Steelers fan with my brother back in the early and mid 90s, that was still kind of the defense they ran back then. It looks like they're going to set up a 4-man rush, 3rd and 16, run a little stunt in the middle. TJ Watt, holy cow, ball. So let me try to draw you guys a picture. It's intercepted, by the way. I'm horrible at play-by-play. TJ Watt with the interception. So they ran a little TE here, right? The tackle angles out. Imagine TJ Watt is on the left side. They angle the tackle out, try to smack the tackle, and then TJ loops around, but he could tell he wasn't going to have a clear rush at Carson Wentz, so he almost played it safe like a spy, gets his hands up in the rushing lane, bats it up, bats it to himself, interception. So another drive ended with a Carson Wentz interception there. It looks like they got the box score updated. So Carson Wentz now 19 of 26 for 168 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. He's now been sacked 5 times for 38 yards. So obviously turning the ball back over to the Steelers. What we were talking about, man. Just let them make the mistakes. You ain't got to go out there and try to score every drive, although we know they're trying to score every drive. Don't get me wrong, they being the Steelers. But just, man, play the game that's in front of you. You're getting real close. There's only 5 minutes left in the third quarter. That clock's going to become your opponent. What you want to do right here is come away with at least 3 points. Try to put together this drive on a short field and try to get yourself 3 points, make it a 2-score game. Then you really tighten up the pressure. That's the thing the Packers failed to do against the Browns, right? You didn't go up by 2 scores there at the end, so you kind of kept them in it. It was a 7-point game. And then obviously Love throws the crucial interception there. So, yeah, he's Wentz. It's just Carson's doing Wentz things. Yes, he is, man. 19 to 26, 2 interceptions now. And again, you look at that stat line. If you erase the 2 picks, it's not a horrible stat line, right? You'd say, all right, they're getting pressure on him, but he's protecting the football. The problem is he's turning the ball over. So, tough look there. Let's look at the receiver stat line here. DK Metcalf, guys, 4 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown. He's only been targeted 4 times. One of those was an 80-yard. If I remember correctly, it was a shallow cross or a slant. Aaron just pitched it out there. DK did the rest, took it all the way to the house. So his long of 80 yards today, he's caught all 4 targets for 122 yards. DK Metcalf, huge playmaker for the Vikings in this game here. Or I'm sorry, for the Steelers in this game against the Vikings. Justin Jefferson's had a day, caught all 8 targets for 97 yards. Jordan Addison, obviously coming off that suspension, 5 targets, only 2 catches, 27 yards. So he is, it's going to take him a little while to get reacclimated to the speed of the NFL. I promise you that. Biz 1987 says Wentz not looking as good as last week. I put a tweet out with Tyrone Biggums from Chappelle's show saying, hey, y'all got any more of those Bengals defenses? Everybody was quick to jump the gun last week. Not everybody, the Vikings fans of that. Oh yeah, we can win with Wentz too, man. The Bengals defense is absolutely horrible, guys. It is atrocious. So let's see here. H.E. Solder, kudos to the Packers O-line depth. They were a wreck against the Browns, but they were not a team train wreck like the Vikings. I think that's a good way of looking at it, Solder. It could have been worse, right? Although we were all, I myself included, was just like, what the heck's going on with this O-line? But yeah, the Vikings, I think they lost a tackle in this game. If you guys want to give me an update in the chat, I believe it was an O'Neal or someone that left the game. But yeah, love the positivity there, Solder. Bad snap. Aaron corrals it on 1st and 10, dumps it off to Washington, who still picks up 8 yards. That's wild. Bad snap, hits the turf. Aaron picks it up. Oh, he just looked at the sideline and said, that's 4 now. I don't know if he's talking about 4 bad snaps or not. But, yeah, Aaron was a little pissed there. Surprise, right? Get to this comment here in just a second for Chase Green. Let me give you guys the next play here. Live from Ireland. I wish I was in Ireland right now, man, going back. You guys know me. That's my name, Bailey. It's Scottish Irish. So I'd love to go over there and see the homeland for sure. All right, we got a nub left look. They're now a little cheat motion with the 3. Going to hand it off to the running back, and they got the first down. That looked like a B gap run left there as Aaron handed it off out of the gun. So first down, Steelers. Let's go, Pittsburgh. Let's just tighten it down, tighten that clinch down a little bit more. At least come away with 3 here. You're sitting in the driver's seat to win this ball game. All right, Chase Green says, Clayton, what concepts can beat the cover 2 zone the Cowboys will play tonight? Air raid offense is the way to go, I think. What worries me, Chase, is everything, all the analytics, all the, we talked about the coverage they run. They run a lot of cover 3 zone as well. All that screams to just throw the ball all over them, right? Because their EPA, whatever it is, per drop back is just absolutely horrible. Toss play right, and the Steelers are going to pick up another 7 yards, 8 yards right there, it looks like. So that would scream, hey, let's just throw the ball all over the yard, right? Their EPA per drop back is like next to, I think there's only one team that's got a worse EPA per drop back, or maybe they're tied for the worst. I don't want to get away from the run too much, man. I want to get the run game going a little bit tonight. The last thing you want to do is get out there and throw that ball around too much and have a strip sack or two or throw a pick or two. And all of a sudden, a team that you otherwise should be able to handle, I don't want to say easily, but you should win this ball game, even though it's on the road. I get a little worried about that, going air raid. That's just me personally, though. You guys know I'm a boring fan like that, though. All right, Aaron under center, going to hand it off. Another first down all the way down to the 3-yard line. There we go. There we go. Steelers are in a good spot here, man. They are moving the rock as Kenneth Gainwell for the Steelers is now 10 carries, 53 yards with a touchdown as well. So he's running the rock really, really nicely here for the Steelers. Again, Steelers are leading 14-6, and they are inside the 5-yard line. Let's see if we can come away with a scoring drive here. I love how we're saying we're, right? I'm still a Aaron Rodgers fan, and obviously he's having a chance to help the Packers here. All right, it looks like we got a 13-A set here, so we're going heavy. Down to the 4-yard line, ball snap, Aaron hands off, and it's going to be a touchdown, Pittsburgh. So the Steelers are now up 20-6 with 2:23 left in the third quarter. Should be 21 if they hit this extra point, which, by the way, I know everybody was ready to fire everybody last week. Our special teams coordinator sucks, because the blocked field goal and on and on and on. Some people were saying Brandon McManus hit it bad. He's struggling. Steelers, Boswell, one of the best kickers in the game, had one block today as well. You guys know Mike Tomlin is as much in tune with having a strong special teams as anyone in the league. Does that mean that they should fire their special teams coordinator now? Been a lot of blocked field goals all year long. So really, really interesting. All right, so there you go. Steelers now lead 21-6 with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. We'll see what the Vikings do, how they rebound here. I'm going to munch a little bit. I apologize for the chewing. Some of y'all, I know I'll lose viewers right now, but I don't care, man. I'm just hanging out watching football. All right, that's a weird comment. Let's see if I can do something about that. I apologize, guys. I don't know if I can because it's on the old Rumble. Let's see if we can jump in there. Bear with me a second. I'm going to see if we can get this knucklehead out of here. This is why you gotta be careful doing live streams, man. Got to be careful doing live streams. This reason right here, there's nothing you can do about it either, man. It just kind of, unless you got people, mods and stuff in here helping out. Hopefully I don't get any feedback here. I don't think yeah, a little bit of feedback. Give me just a second. Let's see if we can take care of this. Bear with me, guys. All right, let's see if that worked. Hopefully that did. Might take it a minute to kick in. He shouldn't be able to comment any longer. I apologize, guys. This is another reason why we can't have messages on the screen, man. Sucks. Because I'd like to have the live chat on the screen while we're watching, you know what I mean? And you guys can kind of keep up with the chat, but we can't do that because everything that's going on with this. All right. Let's see here. J. Cole. Not going to name the show. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that, man. But one show was damn near cussing viewers out that disagreed with them about McManus. I don't think it was all his fault. Yeah, I love the fact that we've got so many podcasts and so many live streams geared around the Packers and just football in general. But there are some, we try to be respectful with people in here. Like if you've got a differing opinion, that's totally cool. As long as everybody's respectful with each other, man, that's all we try to do. And you guys know I disagree with you guys all the time. Y'all disagree with me all the time. But when you do it in a way, oh, you're stupid or you're an idiot or what a horrible bad take, it's just like, come on, guys. Stuff that you wouldn't say to somebody's face if you were hanging out at the bar with your boys, just watching ball, that type of thing. So Biz1987 says, seems like field goals are slower developing than usual. I think I agree with that, Biz. There's just something that seems off, right? Uh-oh, here we go. Vikings, big return. Luckily, the punter got him out of bounds. So Vikings trying to we got a flag, though. Hold up. Hold the phones. We got some laundry on the field here. Let's see what the flag is. Holding return team. So that's coming all the way back. So Vikings were going to have good field position. It's just not their day, man. Not their day. But yeah, Biz, something seems a little off, man. I don't know. Something seems a little off on the field goals for sure. If you guys would hit that like button for us, appreciate y'all hanging out with us. I'm sure we got maybe some Steelers fans or Vikings fans hanging out in the background as well. But hopefully everybody's having an awesome day here. Obviously, if you're a Steelers fan, you're having a great day. It's 21-6 with 2:23. Actually, a little less time than that. We'll see if we can get that updated real quick. But yeah, 2:14 left in the third quarter is what we got here as the Steelers are leading 21-6 over the Vikings. All right, Vikings ball, a set. We got looks like a dub set out of the 12. Wentz is going to load it up. God, he's floating those balls. Every deep ball he's thrown, guys, Wentz, I don't know if it's by design or not, but my gosh, is he putting air under that ball? And not in a good way. It's just every receiver's having to stop him. That's Justin Jefferson having to stop him. Of course, he pushes off on the DB, didn't get called for it. They let him play through it, I guess, a little bit there. Both of them were getting a little handsy. That was big play Slay there. Yeah, Coach, that was rough, wasn't it, Coach? You think that's by design, or is he got the noodle arm as the career is starting to wind down? Ramsey down on the sideline now, went over to the bench. Looks like he might be a little banged up. Here we go, 2nd and 10, Vikings ball. Little zipper motion, snapped, B-gap run, and the Steelers stand it up. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 now, maybe 3rd and 9 is what they're facing. Yeah, it looks like officially 3rd and 9 on the box score here. So we'll see what the Vikings do. And maybe let's do this. Let's put the standings up real quick. Let's talk about what this game is going to mean for the Packers and just the rest of the NFL in general, the NFC in general, I should say. Obviously, we're not too concerned about the AFC right now, but you can see Vikings are sitting 2-1. So if they drop this game and go to 2-2, if somehow the Lions were to lose tonight and the Packers could get a win, you could create a little bit of separation there in the North. It's a 3-way tie as it sits right now. 3rd and 9, Wentz back to pass. They are all over him again. He is sacked by Benton once again. TJ Watt got there on the backside. So he's now been sacked 6 times for a loss of 48 yards. So I don't know the update on their tackle they lost. Let me see if I can go find that real quick. Let's go Vikings line injury. Let's see if we can get an update on that, because that was really – yeah, here we go. 26 minutes ago, Tom Pelissero said trouble for the Vikings O-line. Right tackle Brian O'Neill has been ruled out for the game with a knee injury, and center Ryan Kelly is being evaluated for another concussion. So they are down 2 more linemen live during this game. So that's wild. Very, very interesting. Hey, let me know in the chat, guys. Is the stream okay? Because I've got the Rumble stream live streaming on my PC as well. Hopefully the NASA computer can handle it. Just so if anybody else gets in there, we can get them out as quick as possible. So we got Rumble streaming in the background. Let me know real quick, as fast as you can. Is the chat or is the stream okay? Is everything good? Is it choppy? Is it lagging? Everything. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it, buddy. Just want to make sure. The computer should be able to handle it, but you never know about these things, man. So again, when you're looking at the North standings, Packers 2-1, Vikings 2-1, Lions 2-1, Bears are 1-2. So just taking a quick glance at that on the surface, right? This is going to be, I don't want to say a crucial week, but this week is going to kind of, separate the men from the boys a little bit. We talked about it earlier. Let's throw this back up. Now that you know where the standings sit, the Vikings will probably drop this game, barring some kind of catastrophic meltdown by the Steelers. You see they're losing, so they're going to fall to 2-2. 1 o'clock window, you get the Browns going into Detroit. That's going to be interesting to see. What I want to see there, and again, a little bit different story for the Lions because they're going to be playing at home, going to be a lot easier than the Packers playing on the road against that tough Browns defense last week. But I'm eager to see if the Lions are able to kind of score at will on the Browns, or if it's going to be one of those games where you got to play it kind of close to the vest. If you do, don't be surprised if you look up in the fourth quarter and the Lions are in a similar situation as the Packers. However, you never know, man. We have 14 penalties last week, and I'm not saying we got cheated, but you guys know how it is in the NFL. When you're on the road, there's a reason that the home team's always favored, is because they're going to get those questionable calls typically, right? But the thing that bothers me is when you see a call Not that there was one last week necessarily, but you see a call that should be overturned. Let me give you an example. Go back to the playoff loss last year to the Eagles. Remember the fumble where Keyshawn fumbles the kickoff? You can clearly see him recover his own fumble with both hands. But lo and behold, they review it, and I've never been more sure that we were getting the ball back in my entire football existence, right? And lo and behold, they overturn it. Well, where were they playing? Philadelphia. I think a little bit of that comes into play. I don't know why or how, but I think it is a real thing. So, with that being said, um, I think the Lions have a better shot of beating the Browns in this game. Probably heavily, they are more heavily favored than we were. Right, they're 9.5-point favorites. So a little bit different when you're playing at home against a tough defense. Now I will say running game and defenses typically travel well, right? So we'll see how it goes. I'll be watching the 1 o'clock kickoff there. Then you got the Bears at the Raiders in the 4:25 window. Obviously 3:25 Lambeau time. That's going to be interesting there to see if the Bears can go on the road in Vegas and get a dub. All right, Aaron under center, little toss play outside, cut back, beautiful run. I'll tell you this, man. The Vikings, I want to say they have the best EPA per drop back in terms of pass defense in the league. Let me double check coming into this week. Yeah, and it wasn't even close, minus 0.39. But their run defense is looking a little suspect here, man. The Steelers seem to be able to run the ball pretty effectively at them. If we go back to the box score, Kenneth Gainwell, 11 carries, 57 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Then you got Caleb Johnson, 3 carries for 12 yards. So both backs averaging over 4 yards carry, right? Combined as a team, 16 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. So the long only 10, but they have been able to move the football on the ground, no doubt about that. So really, really interesting there. We got us a commercial break. So let's go back to what we were talking about here with the standings. So again, if the Vikings drop this game, which they probably will, they'll now be 2-2. We talked about the lines playing here in the 1 o'clock window. Let's say they beat the Browns, they come out 2-1. The Packers are 3-1. The Packers need to take care of business tonight, right? You need to win every game, every week, right? We would all agree on that. It's not the end of the world if somehow, some way, the Cowboys end up winning this game tonight. Okay, you're on the road. Weird things can happen. Although we played very, very effectively on the road in Jerry World here in the past. But again, man, don't be surprised if you find yourself in a situation where if the Packers were to drop to the Cowboys tonight, it's not the end of the world, right? The thing that sucks is obviously you lost the game on the road to the Browns. It's a win that most people would have said, hey, yeah, we think the Packers have a good chance of winning this ball game. But if you could somehow, some way come out with a win tonight, and I know the Packers are heavy favorites. Matter of fact, let's see what the line is. Not really heavy favorites. They're 6.5-point favorites right now on the road in Dallas, which you add the 1.5 to 3 points. I like to use 3 points. I think it's silly that it's changed. People just all of a sudden say it's changed to 1.5. 3 points, truly 9.5 points, right? There if you were at home, but you're on the road, right? So let's deduct that or add it to it, I guess you could say. So if you're really 9.5-point favorites, or if you just go with the 1.5, you're 8-point favorites. That feels a little more like what the line should be. But obviously, the Cowboys being at home here at 1-2, that can get hot. That's the main thing you're going to have to control is that passing game, right? And maybe take a little less focus, put a little less focus on the run game, although you want to keep your thumb on that as well. But put yourself in a situation where, they're going to have to lean on the run a little bit because you're going to play 7 in coverage. I would much rather approach it that way. And then you can adjust in the second half if they're running the ball down your throat type thing, right? That's kind of how I see that. What's up, Chris? We got Chris in the house. Everybody sit up straight. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you jumping in. He says quarterback controversy in Minneapolis. Love it. Yeah, I don't know if there'll be one after today, Chris, because boy, oh boy, Wentz's look like cheeks, man. Look like cheeks. Tony Holman says 3-1 in each season quarter, and we're good. That's the old McCarthy way of thinking about it, right? I love it, Tony. If you can pull out a win today, you go 3-1 in each quarter. We go into the bye week and reassess the situation. Who knows? Maybe Christian Watson comes back in week 6, right? And you get guys a little bit healthier. It's going to be awesome. Aaron under center here, 2nd and 1. Going to fire a smoke screen out to DK. Now he's got 5 targets, 5 catches. They pick up the first down. Love that smoke screen. Love it, smoke screen. Wanted to see that last week, and unfortunately, we did not have it. So, yeah. Reef says, Clayton, you have to stop talking like that. I don't know what I said. Are you talking about me saying that the Cowboys may win this ball game, man? Is that what you're talking to? Confirm with me in the chat. Because again, man, I'm telling you, any given Sunday. I know people probably got upset with me last week, but I wasn't like slam dunking. Oh yeah, we're gonna go out there and boat race the Browns, man. You know. All right, 1st and 10, 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter in the game here. Steelers lead 21-6. Aaron back to pass, gonna fire it out. Little curl route, almost like a fading curl route to number 19. Don't know who that is, but he looks like he got a little banged up on the knee or the ankle. That didn't look good. Gonna be second manageable coming up, but trainers are coming out to check on him. Who is it? Austin was the last name I'm seeing here. Austin on the jersey. Might be the right shoulder, the way he acted there. That's weird. The way he's hanging his arm. I would have thought it was lower body there. Maybe it's not, though. All right, let's see what else is going on in the chat. Kieran in the chat says, I just want to just win this game in Jerry World. That's it. Amen. Amen, brother. I don't care. It ain't got to be pretty, right? Just get that dub. Get into the bye 3-1, man. Biz 1987. Wentz was missing wide open JJ earlier. Yeah, to me, he hasn't looked good, Biz. But I love Chris coming in here and trying to spark that conversation that there's a quarterback controversy in Minnesota. That's a good thing. Keep that going, Chris, even though we're going to whisper that we don't necessarily agree with it. Taylor Bell, Takir Woolen is a trade piece. We can fix him. All right. So he's saying go out and get Woolen. I don't even know who that is, to be honest with you, man. H.E. Solder, Vikings caught a break with J.J. out. No reason to bust up young quarterback with no O-line. That's the thing, right, Solder? And is this O-line going to be healthier next week? That's the big question. I'm eager to see what they look like next week. What's their schedule look like next week? What do the Vikings got next? Let's take a quick look here. So they're at the Browns next week. So an even tougher defense they're going to be facing next week. The banged up offensive line, boy. I bet Wentz is hoping J.J. McCarthy is healthy for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't send me out there to lose my life. What's going on? All right. So again, looking at the schedule, next week we're on a bye. The Bears are on a bye as well, right? You got the Lions are going to be at the Bengals, so they should have no problem winning that game. So you really need the Browns to step up and try to upset the Lions today, because next week is darn near a slam dunk win for the Lions. And then the Vikings at the Browns next week, and then of course they got a week 6 bye after that. So all the byes in the NFC North for the most part are going to get you out of the way here after week 6, although the Lions bye week isn't until week 8. Let's see here. Dave C. Aren't the Vikings in Europe again next week? I did not know that. Wow. Yeah. So 2-0 for this confirms it's in London. So did Mike Berry. Interesting, man. So the Vikings are going to be in London again next week. That's really interesting, isn't it? 2 weeks in a row out of the country. It's going to be that's going to be wild. See how that unfolds for sure. Yeah, as Rel says, 2 international games will catch up to them eventually. I agree. I mean, maybe it already is, right, with the O-line losing their center and their right tackle today. And we'll see how significant that injury is. I'm going to try to hit refresh here and see if we got any other updates about that real quick. Actives. Yeah, nothing else on it right now, to the best of my knowledge, on the Vikings line injury. So just trying to take a look here. Trouble there. Yeah, so no more updates up to this point, I don't think. This guy says Brian O'Neill's injury adds to the Vikings' growing offensive line woes against the Steelers. Challenge. Yeah, so no official. We probably won't find out until Monday or so, I would imagine. So, and that's got to be tough being on the road, not having your normal medical. You know, I mean, I know you get your medical staff there, but you're staying out of the country. I can't imagine their trainers can work as efficient as they would at home in Minneapolis. So All right. We'll draw play here by Aaron, and they're going to pick up the first down. 13 minutes left in the game. Vikings are mad. They're saying that a Steeler moved early. They're over there crying like the babies that they are. So got that going on. Clock is ticking. That's what I'm talking about, man. Just lean on them here. Be okay with a field goal right here, too. Just lean on them. Run that clock down. Keep running the rock. If you want to throw a smoke or a bubble out there because the hat count is loaded in the box, that's all right. But all right, here we go. Another 12 personnel. Nasty split. Aaron under center. Going to motion the U back over. They're going to hand the ball off again and pick up about a yard, it looks like, there with Caleb Johnson. So going to be third and medium to long here. But again, you're just running time off that clock. By the time they get to fourth down, it's going to be 2nd and 9. I apologize. 2nd and 9. So they did pick up that first down. So 2nd and 9 look here with the clock running, 12:30 left in the game here for the Steelers, leading 21-6 over the Vikings. We'll see. Yeah, Kieran says after he went down, they have not said anything. I'm not seeing anything either, man. Sure. All right, Aaron in the gun now. They're going to hand the ball off again. B gap right. Nice cut there by Johnson. You're going to pick up a couple. So now we're under 12 minutes. I think this one is pretty much in the bag, guys. It would take something crazy happening for the Steelers to somehow lose this game. So that's awesome. All right. Just pull this up. We'll continue to go around the league, look at some of the other games along with the standings that's on tap today. You got the Commanders at the Falcons is in a 1 o'clock window as well. The Commanders are 2-1. Obviously, that's in the NFC. So you want the Falcons to win that ball game if you're a Packers fan. All right, Aaron had to burn a timeout. Play clock was running down. 11:25 left, 3rd and 6. He's grinning, come over to the sideline. So I think he was trying to catch them in something and just let it run down to 1 second. So again, Commanders at the Falcons, 1 o'clock kickoff. You got the Saints at the Bills, 1 o'clock kickoff. The Bills are obviously 3-0. They're 15.5-point favorites. That's wild to think about. The Panthers travel to New England. The Panthers 1-2. Patriots are 1-2. Not really overly concerned about the Panthers at this point. You get the Chargers 3-0 leading that AFC West. They're going to New York to face the Giants, or Jersey. I apologize. Going into Jersey to face the Giants. Chargers 3-0. Giants are 0-3. Nothing to worry about here. This is going to be a game to watch in the 1 o'clock window. I've already see it now, guys. We're going to have the Lions game. Split screen with the Eagles and the Buccaneers game. So you got the 3-0 Eagles going down to Tampa to play the 3-0 Buccaneers. And man, oh man, does Baker Mayfield got some magic working down there in Tampa right now. So that'll be an interesting game to kind of see who's at the top of the NFC as it sits right now. Aaron out of the gun, back to pass. Oh, try to hammer an out route there. Got away from him. Looking for a flag. Don't see it. But kind of looked like he got held a little bit. But, hey, let him play it out, right? So the clock does stop at 11:21 left, but they are going to kick a field goal here. So the Steelers should go up 24-6 over the Vikings. Again, Eagles, Buccaneers right now. Philly, the Eagles on the road are 3.5-point favorites. So that makes them more of a 5 to 6.5-point favorite when you take away home field advantage there. So obviously the Vegas line has the Eagles as the favorites there, pick to win that ball game. So there it is. The field goal is good. So it's now 24-6. The Steelers are leading the Vikings. Let me get you guys an update there real quick. 24-6. Steelers are leading the Vikings. So it's looking good for us Packer fans, man. Like to see the Vikings lose as many games as possible here in the early season. Back to around the league. 1 o'clock window, Titans at the Texans. Both teams are 0-3. No major concern there, right, for us. Then in the 4 o'clock window, you've got the 3-0 Colts going to the 2-1 LA Rams. So obviously we're pulling for the Colts to stay undefeated there and defeat the Rams in the NFC. Let's drop them down to 2-2. The Rams are 3.5-point favorites at home in that game. So that should be a darn. There's some good good 4 o'clock or good games in general today across the league before the Packers get kicked off here tonight for Sunday Night Football against the Dallas Cowboys. Jaguars at the Niners. That might be a good one. Sleepy good, right? I think we got to hit you guys with. I believe we've got it in here. Hopefully we didn't. Hopefully we didn't delete. Did we delete it? We deleted it, didn't we? No way, man. I got rid of the Duval. I apologize, guys. That's a catastrophe. That's a national outrage right there that we do not have the Duval clip anymore. Anyway, you got the Jaguars at the 49ers. Jaguars are 2-1 on the road against the 49ers, who are 3-0. I think there was rumors that Brock Purdy might be playing in that game. So we'll see what happens there. But the 49ers at home are 3.5-point favorites. So that should be a good game. That should be a close game. 425 window. You got the 1-2. Listen to these records, guys. 1-2 Ravens at the 1-2 Chiefs. What in the hell is going on out here? Baltimore are 2.5-point favorites on the road in Kansas City. My, how the mighty have fallen, right? And then, of course, you've got the Seahawks defeated the Cardinals there on Thursday Night Football, so they improved to 3-1. The Cardinals fell to 2-2. A couple NFC teams beating each other up. They were both at 2-1 coming into that game, so you love to see that. And then on Monday Night Football, we got a doubleheader, right? The doubleheader is the Jets at the Dolphins. Both teams are 0-3. That's a snooze fest. So make sure you tune in to ABC and watch the Bengals 2-1 at the Broncos, who are 1-2. I'm surprised the Broncos are 1-2. I thought they started off pretty strong, although the Broncos are 8.5-point favorites in that game there. So that's going to be fun to watch those games tonight. So, all right, Vikings ball, 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And they're going to bring it out to about the 30-yard line. So they're down 24-6 as it sits right now. So again, tonight, our game, obviously, we got an 8:20 Eastern kickoff. Guys, keep in mind, we're going to go live at 7 o'clock, okay, Eastern time. So that's 6 p.m. Lambeau time, 6 p.m. Lambeau time, Central time. We're going to be going live for our PTA pregame show. We're going to be giving you all the actives, inactives, live shots from the stadium there at Jerry World, and all that good stuff, and take you right up to kickoff for the Packers Cowboys game. As it sits right now, the spread, according to ESPN Bet, has the Packers as 6.5-point favorites, with the over-under being 46.5. All right. So, Chris Casualin says, "What's the deal with CJ Stroud and the Texans?" That's a great question, Chris. I haven't followed them close enough to, couldn't be able to tell you. That's I don't want to say the bad thing. That's the only negative of having the Packers podcast. In the old days, I would watch every team's tape. I'd go back and try to watch, explosive plays from each team and this and that, and try to learn what's going on around the league. And having to do daily Packers content, man, it's taken away from that a little bit, but that's all right, man. Have a blast in here talking Packers on the daily for sure. Let's see here. Dave C says, plus Rodgers doing even competent things makes the Jets look like idiots, which is a bonus. Amen to that, Dave. I hope the Jets don't win another game the rest of the season, man. Aaron Glenn just rubs me the wrong way. Like, look how Tomlin carries himself, and look at Aaron Glenn. Like, I posted a GIF last week or a video, Aaron Glenn celebrating on the sideline, and I thought, oh, they must be kicking the crap out of the opponent. They end up losing that game, if I remember correctly. Like, I don't know, man. I just think that's going to fall apart. Your team is going to be a reflection of what you are, right? And we've knocked Matt LaFleur about that. He's too emotional on the sideline, right? You can't expect your coach, or you can't expect players like Quay Walker to not get ejected from games for letting the heat of the moment get the best of him, right? If your coach is on the sideline screaming and jumping up and down and not composing himself as well. I like the emotion, don't get me wrong, and you got to be yourself. The last thing you want to do is be a phony. Your players will see right through that, right? And you'll lose the locker room quick if you try to be something you're not. But harness that a little bit. I had it in my notes for that Cleveland Browns game last week. That one thing that stood out to me is I felt like Coach LaFleur was keeping his emotions in check. There was a couple big moments in that game where he kept his emotions in check, and that was when they were leading. Lo and behold, you end up losing the game. So maybe there ain't a correlation, but just watching Aaron Glenn act like an absolute idiot on the sideline, and your team is hot garbage. Doesn't surprise me one bit, which again, The Jets are currently 0-3. Hopefully the Dolphins can beat them today. They're 2.5-point favorites, right? The Dolphins are 2.5-point favorites over the Jets. I would love to see the Jets go 0-4 and Aaron have the Steelers at 3-1. That'd be absolutely awesome. So completely agree with you there, Dave. Completely agree with you. Chris Cashwin, I don't think AR-12 was as bad last season. It's been made out to be. Completely agree, Chris. And you got people that'll cherry pick analytics and advanced metrics and this and that. We had a couple people doing that in chat last year. I just rolled my eyes. The same people that hated him when he played for the Packers, and they were Packer fans talking about that. So, well, it doesn't tell the real story. He's actually played bad. Aaron didn't play bad last year. He's on a bad team. He didn't play great. Don't get me wrong, but Aaron looking pretty good this year so far for sure. See you, Tony. Appreciate you swinging through, buddy. You're the man. Max Curley says 6 sacks for the Steelers. Yeah, man, they're hitting home today for sure. Let me go back to that box score real quick, just to kind of give you guys a final box score before we do get ready to wrap up here shortly. Vikings 2nd and 10 from their own, 35-yard line. Going to dump it off to Hawkinson. He is going to pick up the first down. Nice job fighting for yards. They're still losing 24-6. So, yeah, Wentz has been sacked 6 times for 48 yards today. He's 23 of 32, 202 yards passing, 2 interceptions, and 6 sacks for 48 yards. So think about that. 2 turnovers plus a negative 48 yards in the passing game. That's not a good day at the office. And all the people that say KOC is an absolute genius, they won't say anything about this. Oh, he's just having to play with a backup. Okay, I got you. All right. Dave C says, appreciate the stream. Got to run to the bar to meet my buddy and get lunch. Go, Pack, go. Hey, get the wings, Dave. Get the wings, bub. Get them. Thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate you, buddy. All right. Just want to make sure we're not missing anything else in here. Yeah, Rel, I agree. Rel says Wentz is getting bruised. He really is, man. He was holding his ribs like early in the third quarter. I mean, they beat the crap out of him in this game. So, yeah. Coach Lance says, yeah, Matt LaFleur has kept his emotions in check, but much better than last season. I agree, Coach. I agree. And we'll see if it pays off, right? We'll see if it pays off. But there's a time to get fiery, but if you're fiery all the time and you're complaining all the time or you're yelling at the players all the time or this and that all the time, it loses its effectiveness, you know? It's just, you guys know, you played on, I'm sure 90% of the people in the chat have played on some kind of sports team, or maybe you were – maybe you wasn't athletic and maybe you were, I'll tell you something I'm not good at is playing music. I suck at playing music. I've got friends that can play the guitar really well and this and that, play the bass. Man, I could throw a baseball and put just enough pressure on the inside part of my fingertip to make a 2-seamer move and dance. But I don't have the coordination to play a guitar. I can't explain. I have no idea. I'm just 123% Caucasian, I guess. But Wentz rolling right, and is he in? It's close. Touchdown? That's a touchdown, I believe. Maybe. Wait a minute. Yeah. They're probably going to look at it. I think he got both feet in. So it looks like it's going to be 24-13 here, most likely, after this extra point. So Wentz did go down the field there on the run. See if his feet are in. Yeah, it looked like they were. Double check here. Yes, that's a touchdown. All right, so the Vikings did get on the board. They're just looking at it, make sure they don't overturn it here. Can't remember what I was talking about now. I was just saying that, anyone who's played sports, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. You played sports, or you've been in a band, or maybe you're in the marching band, or whatever the event may be where you got a team environment. When you get those teammates or those coaches that talk just to hear themselves talking. I'm not saying Matt LaFleur does this at all. I think it's quite the opposite. I think that is his natural emotions kind of getting the best of him. But you get these guys that it's just constantly. AJ Hawk talked about it a lot on the McAfee show, that you got these teammates that will, anytime you get an opportunity to stand up and speak to the team, boy, they're the first ones up. And like I always say, the loudest person in the room typically has the least amount to say. It'll start falling on deaf ears, right? So I'm glad, Coach, that he is keeping his emotions in check a little bit more this year. So for sure. Michael A. Smith says, I never thought that Matt went overboard, but it's just my opinion. I can see that. I'm not saying he's like, and I'm sure Coach Lynn isn't either. I'm not saying he's the worst at it. It's just, it's one of the very, very, very few knocks I have on Matt LaFleur is what I mean by that is I think he'll make play calls occasionally that are emotional. Maybe that's a good thing too, but like last week, you look up as you're getting ready to go into the third quarter. You're actually in the fourth quarter, deep into the fourth quarter. If you'd have ran the ball, they used their last time out. You punt the ball away. They had to go the length of the field. Listen, I could be completely wrong here, right? But I wonder if Coach LaFleur was like, damn it, I really don't want to come out of here only beating this team by 7 points. Let's be aggressive here. Let's throw the ball. They're going to be looking for the run. And he's right in that regard. They were going to be looking for the run. There's no two ways about it. And our run game really struggled all day. But I think he wanted to be more like, let's pick up this first down in the air. Let's be aggressive here. And let's show that we're still an effective offense. You know what I'm saying? Even though they had a stellar defense, a defense that had our number that day. So I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I don't think he's like been the worst at it, Michael, but that's a perfect example there of I think he probably let his emotions get the best of him in play calling on that specific play, specific drive, specific game and situation, obviously being on the road and being frustrated that the defense kept you in check all day, even though you were up by 7 with a chance to win the ball game, a really good chance to win the ball game. So, yeah. Understand what you're saying there, though, Michael, for sure. All right, guys. 7:50 left in the fourth quarter. According to the ESPN box score here, 24-14. The Steelers are leading the Vikings. It's going to be Pittsburgh's ball unless they try an onside kick. We're going to take you up just a couple of minutes into this drive, and then we'll get ready to wrap this thing up. And I'll get this uploaded in podcast form so everybody can kind of listen along on the Packer network. For sure. But this has been fun, man. We need to do more of these. I was a little, I don't want to say nervous, but I was a little bit apprehensive to go live by myself doing a live stream like this because I don't want there to be a bunch of dead air. If you guys are spending time, tuning in the stream, I want you to feel like, hey, this was worth my time, right? But I think it's went well, man. I hate talking by myself. I'd much rather have the guys in here bouncing ideas off of and getting their takes as well. But appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Make sure that you hit that like button for us, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you're notified when we do go live if you're new here. I'm going live pretty much daily from here on out for sure. All right, let's see what happens here. So we're lined up. I don't even know what the onside kick rules are anymore, to be honest with you, man. So they're kicking it deep. And the Steelers are returning it in the landing zone, bringing it out. Nice little cutback. They're going to have the ball at about the 35-yard line. All right, so we'll get you a few plays into this drive. Again, 10-point ball game, right? Like Biz said, down by 10, still a game for sure. Absolutely. I think Pittsburgh, they still have, or Vikings still have all 3 of their timeouts too, I believe. So, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Chris. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, buddy, for the kind words there. All right, let's see what we got here. So it's 24-14. Let me update that banner for y'all. Anybody tuning in here that wants to catch the little play-by-play down the stretch, we may end it after this drive right here. We'll see. All right, outside run. Gainwell first down Steelers. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about there, man. Lean on them. Continue to lean on them. All right, so we got a 1st and 10. Clock's running, 7:30 left. By the time this ball snapped, probably going to be under 7 minutes. So they are starting to run that clock. That was number 14. Who's 14? Is that? Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell. So Gainwell now, guys, is up to 12 carries. All right. Yeah, 12 carries for 72 yards with 2 touchdowns, along with 15. I think that might have been his longest run of the day right there. So, all right, here we go. Another 12 ace, nasty look under center. Roger snaps the ball with 7 minutes left in the game. Play fake. What are we doing, guys? Oh, it worked. He got it to Gainwell for about 7 yards, but boy, me no likey that. That could have been bad. He had pressure in his face, and from the angle on the broadcast cam, I was worried about that and getting picked a little bit, to be honest with you. But Aaron, 17 of 20 for 192 yards and a touchdown. Only been sacked twice for 18 yards lost. So the Vikings defense has struggled to tee off on Aaron, but keep in mind, Steelers have led all game, and obviously they've ran the rock quite a bit. They're up to 20 carries for 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. So it's hard to get after them when you got to play the run, playing from behind like that on defense, right? His passer rating or QB rating, whichever one it is, they're 120, 122.3 or 128.3. Little draw play, fake pump, and going to be close to the first down. Probably going to be a 3rd and short as we're under 6 minutes now. So, yeah, going to be a 3rd and short. If the Steelers pick up this first down, we'll go ahead and wrap the stream up. But appreciate everybody in there hanging out with us. Justin Jefferson had a day, man. He's one of those receivers, like, he's going to get his, right? Don't let him completely wreck the game. His long of 29 helps, but he's caught 9 of his 10 targets for 115 yards. But DK Metcalf, man, 5 targets, 5 catches, 126 yards with a touchdown. That was an 80-yard touchdown, matter of fact. So we got a fight now. We get us a little scrum. Let's see. Where's the flag? No, oh, there it is. There's the flag. Let's see who gets flagged here. Tried a little tush push, and I believe the Vikings just got flagged. They're still jawing at each other. Let's see who it's on here. Clock stops at 5:29 left. This flag is going to be huge. They're talking it over. So it was a tush push, not even a tush push, just a sneak with their big tight end, kind of like what we do with Tucker Kraft. Aaron was just literally standing in the backfield with his hands on his hips. That's hilarious. And he signals first down. Oh, that's a meme. That's happening right now. I would love to show you guys that. Be ready. It'll be all over X here in a little bit. You're going to see a meme of Aaron standing with his hands on his hips while the play's happening in the background. He just goes first down. Love it. All right. Aaron can't hear the headset right now either. He's laughing looking at the sideline. Oh, boy, that's ugly. So DK Metcalf grabbed a Vikings player by his face mask and was jawing at him. The Viking, number 15, whoever it is, open hand slaps him and almost hits the female ref while open hand slapping him. She had to, like, dodge out of the way. Unbelievable. Just completely imploding for the Vikings. They got 6 penalties for 61 yards today. Obviously banged up on the offensive line. Clock's running. This play will take us under 5 minutes. We're going to hand the ball off. Steelers cut back. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's go. Another 15-yard gain there, maybe 13-yard gain for Gainwell. First down, Steelers. This thing's over, boys. We're under 5 minutes now. So, yeah, it's so true, Biz. Always get the second one, don't they, man? Every time. Chris Casuan, Rogers always been a tough guy. LOL. There you go. Same problem with drums, Clayton, no muscle memory. Oh, there you go. John Walker. Same problem with drums, Clayton, no muscle. Oh, bro, let me tell you. Let me give you a story. This was probably about 10 years ago now. You guys remember that game came out, Rock Band? It was just all the rage, right? Everybody's playing Rock Band. I was playing that with some friends. We got together, you know, it's a good game to play while you're drinking, right? Just get in there and play some old hits and through a video game, right? They put me on the drums. I broke the damn set. I was like I'm telling like a bull in a china shop. I was like an elephant trying to damn tap dance. I was smacking them hard and off key and throwing sticks everywhere. It was absolutely horrible. So I'm with you on that, John. I cannot do that. Cannot play the drums either, man. It's hilarious. Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there. JJ says Gainwell's gaining well, huh? Good one. Love it. Yeah, 15 carries, 88 yards. So a little bit of a blueprint on how to beat the Vikings here, right? Not that they were like this dominant force, but they are going to fall to 2-2 here. This one's pretty much over. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up there, guys. I'm going to go over, grab something to eat, actually finish what I put on my plate. Hopefully I wasn't munching in y'all's ears too much there. But that's pretty much going to do it for this game. It's 24-14. There's 4 minutes left. Hopefully you guys are not atting me on X here in a minute going, Clayton, you knucklehead. They came back and won. But I think this one's pretty much over for the most part, barring any kind of catastrophical developments. 4:21 left, second and goal. Vikings have started using their timeouts. Oh, a little play fake. Oh, don't like it. Don't like it at all. Aaron went play fake. Aaron went play fake, missed the receiver, wide outside, stops the clock. Camera zooms in on him. He drops a big F-bomb right on national TV. So there you go. Horrible throw. He had his guy too. That's bad. He is so mad. It wasn't just the F-bombs. You guys see that? He was stringing them together right there, man. Like my Uncle Bill out there talking. All right, we got a trips right look, 3rd and goal. They're going to pass again, dump it off underneath. All right, so the Vikings will use another timeout. Steelers will probably kick a field goal here and make it 27-14. So you're welcome, Biz. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for swinging through, man. Really appreciate you. I just want to see how this drive goes, and then we'll wrap up. And again, if the Steelers hold on here, oh, it looks like Aaron wants to go for it. Kind of makes sense to go for it, right? It's already a 2-score game. You can make it a 3-score game if you score a touchdown here. If you kick the field goal, it's still a 2-score game. So I can understand. And even the offensive linemen are screaming, let's go for it. Did they win? Let's see. Now, looked like the Steelers offense was screaming they want to go for it. They would zoom the camera out. We could see if they're going to go for it or not here. Love to have the audio up. We don't want to get hit with a copyright. Yeah, Aaron's back in the huddle. They're going for it. So the offense convinced him. He had offensive line and Aaron Rodgers saying they want to go for it. He's 18 to 22, 200 yards passing with a touchdown so far. All right, we're in a 13 set. You got DK out left. They're going to hand it off? I thought for sure they'd pass there. Got all the way down to the 1-yard line, so not bad. That puts the Vikings in a really, really bad spot there on their own 1, right? So I keep saying I'm going to wrap the stream up, but now I want to see if Carson Wentz gets assaulted here in his own end zone. You know what I mean? It's funny. I told everybody I was wrapping up, so everybody left. All right, and again, the Steelers are leading 24-14. It's Vikings ball now. 4 minutes left in the 4th quarter. They are at their own 1-yard line. So kind of like that, man. It's kind of the game within the game, you know? If you kick the field goal, it's still a 2-score game, right? That would make it, 27-14, right? So you go for the touchdown, and worst case scenario, they get the ball at their 1. And that's what they got here. Let's see what they decide to do. They're going to hand it off, a little A-gap run. Yeah, they pick up about 6 yards, so that's going to give Wentz some breathing room. Let's see if this Steelers defense continues to hunt, though. Vikings have a timeout left. Clock's running, 3:56 left. They're trying to hurry to the line. It's going to be a 2nd and 4 from about their own 6-yard line is where they're at. Wentz now in the gun. They're going Trey left. They're going to empty the backfield out, so the T is in the slot right in the 2. Wentz back to pass. 4-man rush. He connects to Justin Jefferson for his, his 10th catch now? Yeah, 10 catches, 126 yards. 10 catches on 11 targets. Man, Justin Jefferson. It's still early in the career, but he may go down as the greatest receiver of all time. There's no receiver that's done what he's done, even Jerry Rice, in the amount of time he's been in the league, if I understood that, what they said pregame correctly. So, yeah. All right, so first down now. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. 3:29 left. We got a Steelers player down on the field, and that's going to stop the clock for an injury timeout. Let's see what happens. It's Eccles, if I'm saying that right. Oh, no, that looked non-contact. Oh, no. What is that? Is he cramped up? What is that? Hopefully it's just a cramp. I don't know. That don't look good. There was non-contact. He was chasing the 2 and just hit the turf. Looks like they may have a little bit of a break here while they're checking on him. If you guys would, hit that like button for us. Hit subscribe. If you're watching on X, feel free to click on my profile. You'll see the YouTube channel there. I always tell everybody that's watching on X, like right now we got a bunch of people on X, right? 237 people watching on X. If you'll go to my profile, just click on my profile, you'll see a YouTube link. Click that YouTube link, hit subscribe. And the reason I say that, if you want to watch on X, we're always going to stay live on X as long as I possibly can. I know there's a lot of people who don't like to go live on X because they lose the monetization of YouTube, right? With people watching on X. I want to give everybody an option to watch the show wherever they feel comfortable. But if you're on YouTube, you can see the YouTube chat. I can't put the YouTube chat on the screen because you guys know there's asses out there, complete butt-in people butthole people, trying to keep it clean here, that will say racist, stupid stuff on the stream or say something inappropriate. And so anyway, on X, if you click on the YouTube channel, you'll be able to see and interact with the YouTube folks. Look at this. How does this happen? Jordan Addison. Oh, almost had a tutter. He got ran down from behind, tackled at the 1. Who busted the coverage there? Guys, the 10-point ball game. The Vikings can get in here. It's going to be a 3-point ball game, right? They hand it off. Steelers stuff him. 2:46 left, 2nd and goal. Boy, this just got really, really interesting here. Really interesting. I'm glad we stayed live. 2:30 left, 2nd and goal. Wentz, you taking way too much time in that huddle, bud. The center still don't even know what the play call is. See if they can make it a 1-score game here, guys. Then obviously you'll try an onside kick, I would imagine. Wentz back to pass. Oh, dropped. It hit Naylor in the hands, I believe. I don't know. Maybe 42 got a hand on it. Let's see. Addison getting ran down from behind was wild, though, man. Kind of looked like he was just trotting, too. Yeah, no, it's a great play by the defense there. Got his hand on the ball barely. So that was not a drop on Naylor. I apologize, Naylor, even though you're a Viking and I don't like you. Yeah. All right, so now we're looking at, what are we looking at here? 3rd and goal? 3rd and goal from the roughly 2-yard line, looks like here, guys. Wentz in the gun, back to pass, play fake. Oh, almost picked off. Woo! If they don't score from the 1-yard line with the game on the line like this, you know, I watched that big play to Addison. And you think, okay, man, that sucks as a Packer fan. You don't want the Vikings to have anything positive come out of this game, right? If they get all the way down to the 1-yard line on a big explosive play like that, and they can't score from the 1, that maybe hurts their confidence even more than if they wouldn't have got that huge game, whatever it was, from their own. What was it? They wasn't at their own 1-yard line when they had the completion, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They started the drive at the 1. All right, Wentz gun sidecar right, 4th and goal. Little RPO, dumps it, and they did score there. So they had who was it that leaked out of the backfield? Somebody leaked out of the backfield there. Naylor leaked out of the backfield, gets a touchdown. So it's interesting now, boys. Let's see what we got here. It's now 20-24. They're going to kick the extra point and try to make it a 3-point game. So this got really interesting. I can't remember what the spread was, but somebody probably just lost money on that busted coverage, I would imagine. Surely they will go for just the extra point here, right? There's no incentive to try to make it a 2-point game, I don't believe. And the extra point is good, so it's a 3-point ball game. All right, here we go. This is what we're looking at. 3-point ball game. Steelers are up 24-21. There's 2:08 left. The Vikings have 1 timeout, so you've got to kick an onside kick here, right? Got to kick the onside. I'm trying to think. If you kick it off and they get it, let's say at the 35-yard line, they run a play, the 2-minute warning stops it. They run another play, you call a timeout. That'll run it down to, what would that run it down to? Roughly a minute 20. They run another play. Yeah, I think you got to try an onside kick. Now, listen, I don't know his name, but I do know the Pittsburgh Steelers special teams coordinator has been there for 112 years, and he is an OG. Don't be surprised right here if the Steelers come away with this onside kick here, man. He's out there chirping. I wish I knew the guy's name. He's been there. Pat McAfee talks about him all the time. What I'm trying to say is I feel as good about the Steelers recovering this onside kick as any other special teams in the league right now, to be honest with you, because I know they got the OG there as their special teams coordinator. It looks like it is going to be an onside kick, obviously. Am I stupid for asking that question, guys? Let me know in the chat. Am I stupid for saying, hey, should you kick the onside kick here? Should you kick it deep? It's got to be an onside kick, right? Maybe I just had a brain fart there. 2-0 for this thing. I fell asleep, woke up, the Vikings being in this game. What happened? It got interesting the last 2 minutes, 2-0 for this. So you actually woke up just in time. All right, here comes the onside kick. They're lining up for it. 2:08 left in the game. Steelers recover this. It's pretty much the ball game, right? For the most part. Here it is. What just happened? Kevin O'Connell call a timeout? No, Steelers called a timeout. So Steelers called a timeout. They probably wanted to get a good look at that onside setup. I actually like that, right? And do it almost like when you ice the kicker on a field goal, wait till right when he starts his motion, tell the official right before he makes contact with the ball or right before the ball is snapped on a field goal. In this case, right before he makes contact with the ball, or right before he starts to move, I want to call a timeout so you can see what kind of onside kick they're setting up, right? So I'm going to line it up, do it again. Game on the line right here. Looks like they're setting up for the same exact onside kick. Look, he's just going to kick it to the left. They're overloaded to that side. I don't know if he's going to try to get a hop or they're just going to kind of let this thing scoot across the ground here. Let's see. Yeah, no hop. Steelers have got it. All right. Wilson with the recovery there. Number 10, Wilson gets the onside recover. So 2:07 left. They got a timeout. So they're going to let the Steelers run a play, right? They'll probably run the ball. So we're still not out of the woods yet here. Steelers will run the ball. I imagine the Vikings will call a timeout. And then Steelers will run it again. The 2-minute warning will stop the clock. And if they want to play it extra conservative, the Steelers will run the ball again and run roughly 40 seconds off the clock, take you down to about a minute 20, I imagine is the game plan here. Please do not throw the ball there. Please. Kind of got you in this position in the first place. They're throwing it down there inside the 5 just a second ago. All right, it is a run. And they're going to pick up about 4 yards. That takes you to the 2-minute warning. Okay. Vikings still have a timeout left. It's turned out to be a fun game, man. I'm glad we did this live stream. It's a blast. Too old for this, Chris. You can leave. I could, but oh man. Thoughts on the Dart situation, Clay? That's a great question. We got a TV timeout here, right? For the 2-minute warning. B Timmy 10 says thoughts on the Dart situation, Clay. I wish I could pull up. I don't know how easy I can do it. By the time I get it pulled up, watch, they'll be back from the game here. Let's see. We haven't done this in a while, though. Let me pop this over here. Draft board 2025. All right. Yeah, I think I can do this. Look how quick we got this up in record time, man. Let's go these technological advancements. This was our draft board, okay? Bang. And it is sorted by overall grade on the right. So let's see where we had Dart, okay? We'll start this conversation. We had Cam Ward as the top quarterback, all right? Worthy of the 7th overall pick. Of course, quarterbacks, you guys know they're going to jump up a tier, so that's why he was the number 1 pick. You get it. So we had Cameron Ward 1, all right? We had Shedeur Sanders 2. These are in order of quarterbacks, okay? Number 3 was Jalen Milroe. That may surprise some people, right? This is our PTA board, not our personal opinion, but how we kind of iron out the draft board stuff. We put a bunch of people that we trust information in the board and let it fall where it may. So Jackson Dart was the 5th best quarterback on our board. So we had Jackson Dart above Tyler Shuck and above Will Howard and also above Dylan Gabriel, right? Those type of quarterbacks. So Jackson Dart, if you were to just look at where Jackson Dart is on our board, we basically said he was worthy of the 62nd pick, although, because that's that grade to the right there, 62nd pick. Let me scroll down. I apologize. However, he landed in the number 68 spot on our big board. Now, you're asking, I imagine the reason you're asking this question is why would you start Jackson Dart in a situation? I would rather him sit. right? Now, I think Jackson Dart is the better quarterback, or has obviously the more upside of than Russell Wilson in his current situation in his career, right? But there's just been too much success that you've seen in the league with quarterbacks sitting behind other quarterbacks, if that makes sense. Hopefully that answers your question. I would rather let him sit all year long and then maybe start him fresh next year. That would be my take there, B Timmy 10. Let me know what you think, man. What do you think in the chat? It's an interesting situation for sure. Steelers hand the ball off, 2nd and 6. He's going to be tackled. Stay in bounds, buddy. Ooh, he almost got the first down, and he stayed in bounds. That's wild. So he got a 3rd and short, and the Vikings are going to use their timeout here. Hopefully they don't go to another commercial break. So, B Timmy 10 says, I think it's Brian Dayball's last chance try. Hey, that makes sense, right? If you can catch lightning in a bottle with Dart, maybe get a spark your team. Boom. I understand that. What sucks about that, Timmy, you probably agree, maybe you disagree, kind of selfish, right? Dayball's like, man, hey, this is my last chance to keep my job, but you might take a chance of ruining Jackson Dart, as we've seen starting young quarterbacks in the past has done so many times, right? It always ends up hurting these quarterbacks when you start them. Not always, but most of the time, a large majority of the time, it ends up hurting the player there. So kind of seemed a little selfish, right? 3rd and 1, 1:52 left in the 4th quarter. Pittsburgh leads 24-21. Clock is stopped from the timeout. Aaron brings them out. What if Aaron did just an unselfish quarterback sneak right here? They're pretty loaded in the middle, though. Let's just run the rock. Play it safe here, guys. Uh-oh. Timeout, Pittsburgh. All right. Looks like Aaron, he's smiling, but I think he's a little upset that they called the timeout. I think he liked the look they got. Or maybe he was saying you called it too soon because they called it with like 5 seconds left on the play clock. I think he might have wanted to try to get a hard count in there. It's probably what he was trying to do. He should have plenty of time to do that right here, though. So, yeah, B Timmy 10 says, puts Dart in a horrible position. If it goes south, the new coaches may go in another direction if changes are made. Great point. So we're on the same page there, Timmy. Again, I like Dart, but there's not many quarterbacks in the league right now that could go into that Giants situation and make chicken salad out of you-know-what, right? Aaron's got him at the line with 12 seconds on the play clock. Looking it over, he's going to try that hard count, I guarantee it. Nope. Quick snap. Oh, it's close. I think they stopped him, guys. I think they stopped him. And by the way, man, shout out to the MVP of the stream today. Mandy found these pretzel twists that are garlic parmesan. I'm having them with a Sprite. They're freaking fire. With a cold bruschetta, I bet those things are money. So shout out, Mandy, if you're watching this stream from Chattanooga. See, now you guys know. Oh, they're going for it. 4th and 1, hard count. They held their water. Nobody jumped. All right. This is interesting, man. What would you guys do? Let me know in the chat real quick. Here's the situation. Steelers ball, 4th and 1 at, I want to say, roughly the 40-yard line, Vikings 40-yard line. Do you punt that thing away and risk it going into the end zone and just gaining 20 yards of invisible yardage there with a 20-yard punt? Or do you go for it on 4th down, try to end the game right now? Jay knew where I was going. Jay said, go for it. Jay says, go for it. B Timmy 10 says, I always ask myself, what would Dan Campbell do? There you go. Let me know in the chat real quick, guys. You going for it or would you punt it? I know what they're doing. They've already made the decision. Oh, look at that. I didn't even think of that. Rel said Ryan Boswell out there for a field goal attempt if you don't already have the guts to go for it. That's interesting. I think I disagree with that, Rel, respectfully, of course, because, if you miss that, you're giving away crazy field position. They ended up punting it away, so I didn't even see where it was downed at. Did you guys catch that? Where's the ball at? 45-yard touchback, so it did go in the end zone. Touchback. All right. Here we go, guys. Game on the line. Carson Wentz on the day already. Let's get that up on the screen here. The box score. On the box score, Carson Wentz, 28 of 43, 27, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's been sacked 6 times for 48 yards. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Wentz back to pass. Stands in there tall, delivers, intercepted. Did he bobble it, though? He tried to hammer an out route. Pierre picks it off. I think the initial call is an interception, but it looked like there was a little bobble. Let's hold the phones here for a second. I'm telling you, buddy, on 1st and 10, Wentz tried to force it on the out route. Listen, if you got Jordan Love's arm, you can hammer that out route. Carson Wentz does not have the arm strength to throw that out route any longer. That was like, what was that, like a 13-yard out or something, guys? Let's watch it again here. He's got it. 1, 2. All right, so he got 2 feet in as long as he's not bobbling it. Give me the other angle here real quick. Let's see. It's hard to tell from that angle. The sideline cam had it. Hopefully he wasn't bobbling it too much. Let's see. He's got it. 1, 2. Oh, it's kind of moving, guys. I don't know. What do y'all think? Is that a pick? Is that a pick, guys? What do y'all think there? 2-0 for this says, I don't think this is overrulable because it was an interception on the field, right? That's a great point, 2-0 for this. If it had been the other way, right? It's one of those that's so close. I don't know, man. It looked like the ball was moving a little bit, but he never lost possession either. You know what I'm saying? Like he had it against his shoulder pad and then it bobbled a little bit and he kind of grabbed it with the other arm. 1. Oh, it's close. I think he's got it. I think the right foot was still down when the ball did get bobbled. Let's see right here. It'd be a good one. Oh, it's close, man. I'm with you. I don't know, man. That's tough. Where are we playing at? Neutral field, right? NFL loves the drama. So they overturned it, huh? Wow, 2nd and 10. I'm with you 2-0 for this. I didn't think that was going to be a overrulable, as you said. I don't know if that's a real word or not. We're going to run with it. So, all right, here we go, guys. From the 20, 2nd and 10. Empty set, out of the gun. 5-man rush. They're going to drop him out now, so it's actually 4. Almost threw another interception. Good God, Wentz, you were playing like cheeks, my man. Wow. What a turn of events in this game. If y'all would, hit that like button for us. Had a bunch of people just jump in. Also, if you're on X and you're a Packer fan, click on my profile, click on the YouTube link, jump in here on YouTube so you can see the rest of the YouTube chat as well. But thank y'all for hanging out. You're free to watch on X, but a little bit easier to interact on YouTube. So thank y'all. We'll be live tonight, 6 p.m. Central Time for the PTA pregame show. Take y'all all the way up to kickoff for Packers Cowboys too. All right, Wentz out of the gun. Back to pass. TJ Watt trips him up. He scrambles out of it, and then he gets sacked. How do you not throw that away, Wentz? Oh, they got him offsides. Hold up a minute. Free play. Maybe that's why he didn't throw it away. So they sack Wentz, but it looks like they might have gotten TJ Watt offside. He got back there pretty quick, so maybe he was offsides. Well, the Steelers are just trying to give him this game, aren't they? Holy cow. I guess it was TJ. I didn't get the number. Who was offsides there, guys? Did y'all see? Not that it matters, but TJ got back there pretty quick. I imagine it was him. All right, Wentz from his own 30, 48 seconds left. Back to pass, looking, firing underneath. Going to be a catch for a first down, and he's out of bounds, guys. This just got interesting. I planned on wrapping this stream up 40 minutes ago, and we may be going to overtime. Holy cow. So it was Watt. Thank you, Soder. TJ Watt was the one offsides. Man, this is interesting. Hey, guys, let me know if you can hear this in the background. Do you hear the broadcast in the background at all? Wentz back to pass. He is going to be hit. Should have been sacked. That should be intentional grounding. So there's going to be a runoff, I would imagine. Yeah, it ain't close enough. That better be intentional grounding. Thank y'all, guys. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, awesome. I get it up just slightly so I can hear the announcers. I'm sure there's information that you guys are getting that I'm not getting, and I can't convey it to people that are just watching live. So I can't believe we've been live for an hour 30, man. That's wild. It's been a blast. All right, so there's the 10-second runoff for the grounding. Do they wind the clock too? They run 10 off, and then as soon as they blow the whistle, the clock runs, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm with you. 2-0 for this. Said waited forever to call that. Sure did. All right, here we go. 2nd and 26. 2nd in Philadelphia. 2nd and, I don't know, what's close to where they're playing in Ireland. I keep thinking it's Pittsburgh they're playing at. This stadium kind of feels like Pittsburgh. Open end to one end zone type thing. All right, Wentz back to pass. Another pass rush here. All right, they dump it off to Hockenson. Hockenson gets completely flipped up in the air. 20 seconds, clock's running. It's a first down. Vikings are rushing to the line. They're still on their side of the field. They're going to spike it. 14 seconds left. All right, so they're obviously going to try to get in the field goal range, right? They've got the ball at Minnesota at their own 36-yard line. So they've got to go a distance, get to the line, and spike it. As the Steelers, you got to play this thing outside in. Give me a 4-deep defense, protect the sidelines, make them check it down in the middle of the field. The last thing you want right here is to give them 10 yards on 4 seconds and out of bounds to stop the clock, right? Play this thing outside in. And hopefully they don't have the officials over there in Ireland that broke the world record for getting the ball spotted for the Browns last week to win, to kick that game-winning field goal. What just happened? Did they just get called for a delay of game? Boy, they have crapped the bed. He just got hit with a delay of game with 14 seconds left in the game. Like, how do you
do that? You're going to get your ass kicked in that.
That's right, Coach. Completely agree. All right, 14 seconds left. 4th and 18 now. Now it does turn into a shot play, right? They got a Trey right look. Watch for the deep corner route. Deep corner route. Stretch the field with the X and then throw the deep corner route. Broken up, incomplete. Ball game. Steelers win. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Wash your hands, wash your butt, man. That's it. That's all.
All right. There you go. Did you notice that too, Rel? Kevin O'Connell's hands shaking while holding that sheet. Listen, I can't dog too much. You could. I can't say that loud on the air. I would be very nervous. What line can I go to here? The current favorite. I'd be tighter than a tick on a coon's ass if I was calling those plays in that situation too. So I can't say anything, man. Can't say anything. Steelers get the dub. All right. The Vikings fall to 2-2. That's going to help the Packers' chances, obviously. Yeah, I'm with you. Soder said middle of the field throw from the pocket. Really strange, right? I would have thought with that Trey Wright look, stretch the 1 and the 2 vertically down the sideline and then have Hockenson run a corner route and give yourself a shot at the end zone would be the way I would have gone about that. But, yeah. All right, so that's the final. Steelers win 24-21 over the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers, 18 of 22, 200 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no picks, only sacked twice for 18 yards lost. Carson Wentz went 30 of 46 for 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 6 sacks, losing 48 yards. Kenneth Gainwell kind of unlocked the running game for the Steelers in this game. 19 carries, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns. Caleb Johnson added 6 carries for 22 yards as well. DK Metcalf will be my player of the game in this situation. 5 catches for 126 yards on 5 targets. Also had that 80-yard touchdown catch. Looking on defense real quick, Nick Urbig. I think I'm saying that right. Did he play for Wisconsin, guys? Nick Urbig? Why do I have him attached? For some reason, I just thought Wisconsin Badgers. I could be wrong. But he had 1.5 sacks. And then Keanu Benton had 1.5 sacks for the Steelers as well. On the Vikings side, Jalen Redmond had 2 sacks. I think I was right, Barry. Mike Barry says yes. I watch way too much football, Mike. How I just all of a sudden, and you guys know I'm not like a Wisconsin fan, but I root for the Badgers because got a lot of friends that are Badger fans, obviously. But that's wild that just popped in my mind. So you guys are rubbing off on me. Maybe I am a Badgers fan. I didn't even realize. So, all right, guys, we're out of here. The voice is going. I'm sure you can tell. I'm going to go reset everything and get ready for the pregame show. You guys hop back in here, hit subscribe, hit like, click that bell icon so you're notified when we do go live. And we'll be back live at 6 p.m. Central Time for PTA pregame show, taking you all the way up to kickoff, Packers, Cowboys. You guys enjoy the 1 o'clock games, the 4 o'clock games. It's going to be a lot of fun all day long. We got football literally kicking off in 15 minutes, and we're going to have football the rest of the day. We're going to wrap it up with some Packers talk at the end. So appreciate everybody. Everybody have a great afternoon. Who knows? Might randomly go live in the middle of the afternoon, so make sure you got that bell icon clicked. Appreciate y'all. Talk to you soon.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.